What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be using ChatGPT to build a super simple personal resume website. Now a little bit about me, I do have some intermediate coding experience mainly with Python, but I've built basically no websites before. I have very little experience in that space. And so this is going to showcase kind of how easy it is to just copy paste code, tell ChatGPT where we think it messed up as we go, and get a project off the ground with little experience of doing something similar in the past. So let's get started. We're going to prompt it here. The first thing we're going to say is I would like to build a personal resume website. Please give me an overview of, let's say I am going to use you to code it. Please give me an overview of the steps. So let's see. Plan and gather requirements, choose domain, design, content creation, front-end development, back-end development optional, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's read through a little bit about this. So like it's gonna do every single one of these steps, but this just kind of helps me remember what I should prompt it and kind of in which order I should be worrying about this stuff. So cool, we're doing this now. We're not actually gonna put this on the internet, so we don't need to worry about domain name. Okay, it's gonna design it. It's gonna create some mock data for us. Front-end development, use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Cool, so we know we're gonna use those three. Back-end development, this is optional, not gonna worry about it. Mobile, I don't care. Testing and debugging, obviously. Development or deployment, we're not gonna deploy it, we're just gonna have it run locally. Maintenance and updates, whatever. Okay, so now we need to make the files on our computer that will help us create this website. And so rather than actually creating all of the files, I'm gonna have it write a command for us that will create all the files. It's just gonna be a terminal command, so I'm gonna open up my terminal and do it in there. We're just gonna say, write a terminal command. I'm gonna say, I'm using Mac OS. Write a terminal command to create the perfect directory structure and every file I will need to do this project. Cool, so it's, here's the command, and it's gonna say it's making a resume website with all of these subdirectories and these files. So cool, cool, cool. We're gonna copy that, we're gonna paste it in here. It made a resume website directory, so let's actually just find that. So this is right here, it's in the home folder, resume website. And now I'm just gonna open that in VS Code, which is my code editor. Just so that you guys know, we are gonna use something to actually display the website in the browser. So we're gonna use Google Chrome. And what we're using here is called Live Server. This just makes it so that we can write the code and then actually see what it's generating in Google Chrome. So that's all that is. There's a little button here to actually open up the website. So super easy. And we have all of these directories and these different files. So we have these three files. It should know that those are our three files, but I'm just gonna real quick remind it that those are the names. So I'm gonna say, thanks, I now have three files, style.css, script.js, and index.html. Just so that it remembers those are the names of the files so that it doesn't like get confused and start naming things different than how I have it. All right, so I have three files, style.css, script.js, and index.html. We're just gonna say, please generate the code for index.html. And let's see what it gives us. I'm guessing it's gonna generate some like example mock data here. It looks like it actually says add experience, add content here. So what I'm gonna say is, please recreate index.html with some mock data, mock resume data. Just so that I don't have to actually add anything. We're not gonna put my resume in here. I just kind of want to showcase building the website. So it looks like now it's making one for John Doe. And it says I'm a dedicated, motivated software engineer. That's funny. But now it just has some mock data in there so that it'll be easier for us to kind of showcase everything. So we're going to copy paste index.html, post it here. And you would have to have a tiny amount of software dev experience to recognize that it cut off here. I mean, even just developed it clearly cut off. This is something that ChatGPT does a lot. So we're just going to say, please generate the rest of the file. Okay, and it's starting with div class project. So I don't actually see that in here. So that's a little weird. Task management application. Okay, no, so it's starting right here. Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna copy that and we're gonna paste it starting in div class project. Okay, perfect. So we got that out of the way. Now we're going to have it generate we'll go for the JavaScript file next. Please generate the code for script.js. Basic example. The code provides smooth scrolling and navigation links. That looks really small, so let's just for the heck of it say, please add some extra functionality to script.js. Again, I don't know JavaScript, so I'm not going to understand what it's doing, but might as well have some extra functionality in there. Cool, so it's updated the code. It now has a mobile navigation menu, which is kind of cool. So maybe that's like a thing that moves. I don't know if it's gonna scroll, but whatever. And a contact form. Cool, sounds good. All right, whatever. So copy that, paste it in here, and we're good to go. Now let's have it style it. Okay, so we're gonna say, please generate the code for style.css. Please make sure it has a clean and professional design with an eye-pleasing color scheme. I want any potential employer that comes to this website to be very impressed. Whatever. So cool. Certainly, here's a clean and professional with an eye-pleasing color scheme. Cool, it's giving me a whole bunch of stuff here. Let's see if it does the thing where it cuts off again. It looks like it finished everything. Yeah, so it even tells us what to do. Color scheme of a gray background, dark header and footer, white contrast, touch of interactivity. All right, let's copy that and let's paste it right here. Looks good. Don't really know anything about CSS. All right, so we now have all the files all set. We're just gonna launch the website and see what it looks like. Let's click go live. And pretty decent. So we have John Doe up here. We have like navigation to the different, oh, that's so cool actually. What? All right, this is better than I expected. That is neat. So we have a pretty complete website here. I think that I would rather have a little bit more color, and I also think that it would be kind of nice if the content was like in the middle, right? So it's kind of like right next to the edge here, which is it just looks a little off. So I'm gonna say I want the content of the website to be contained in the middle of the browser. Maybe not in the middle, but like not fully off to the side. So I'll just say the middle and see what it gives us. The middle of the browser with small columns on either side, I guess. And then I don't really want it to be brown. So let's say, or like gray. So let's say I want it to have more tropical colors. That might be a little extreme, but let's see what it gives us. Please rewrite CSS, what is it called? The style.css with this in mind. All right. And let's see if we're gonna get a cutoff here, if it's gonna finish it. Looks like it's kind of hanging. All right, it's good. And it's doing really well. It didn't cut anything off again. In this updated version, I've added the content in the middle with small comments on either side. Background color is a light tropical shade. Cool. All right, let's copy paste this. Copy code, style.css, paste it in here. And let's rerun the website. See what we get. Okay, so we have a little bit more. So I like that this is in the middle, but this stuff is all still not in the middle. I actually do like this a lot better, and that looks great. I don't love this green, but I'll take it. But I do just want the rest of the content to be, again, more in the middle. So I'm just gonna say, thanks. That made it so the header and footer were the name, navigation, copyright. I don't know how to spell that. I don't care. It's gonna, okay. Copyright. Stuff is displayed. So the header and footer content is displayed in the middle, but the actual resume content is still touching the edge of the browser. Please rewrite style.css so that all of, or like maybe it should be in a different, maybe it doesn't need to be style.css where that's changing. So what do I need to do to make sure that all of it is in the middle like that? So we're gonna leave it super open-ended. Modify, including the resume section. Center the entire content. Okay, so it's rewriting the whole style.css file for us. Let's see if it gets it right. In the updated section, whatever, we don't really care. We're just gonna see if it works. Copy code, boop, paste it right here. And let's see now. Okay, so that has, this is almost what we wanted, but now that's not in the right place. So let's see what we can do about that. Now the navigation is incorrectly on the left side. Please rewrite style.css to make sure it's on the top. All right. And so now we're kind of in a spot where we don't understand what it's doing, and it might not really understand what it's doing either. So hopefully we can just prompt our way out of this. But this is kind of, I guess, a good example of hitting the limit of what it can do, because I think it's getting a little confused here. But let's see what this did for us. Okay, actually that looks really good. I would rather this kind of go to the edge, if that makes sense, like this green. But I'm not gonna push my luck here. This looks really good for a, I've no idea what I'm doing. I'm not an engineer that can make a website, but here I have a pretty sweet looking website with, nice smooth navigation here. I have the mock data. It generated the files for me. It generated the structure for me. It generated all the code for me. And this is looking pretty nice. Like, I'm sure if I prompted it a whole bunch more, I could probably get this to extend to the edge, but I don't want to mess anything up. I think we're in a good spot here. Thanks for watching. Click the like button, I guess. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more of these, so stay tuned.